What's up, YouTube? So today I'm going to talk about a very common problem with the early 2000s Ford Explorers. This is the fresh air door for the air conditioning, defrost, the whole thing. As you can tell, this thing is supposed to be in the dash, plugged into place on this side, passenger side, and then there's a piece, a little cam sprocket, if you will, that slides into here and is supposed to latch right here in this hole right there. What happens over time, the plastic gets old and brittle, that piece breaks, and then when the door goes to actuate by vacuum, it actually falls down and falls out, falls on top of your fan motor. Not only will this restrict the amount that your fan can blow air out of the vents, but then your defrost and all, you'll notice more condensation on the inside of the car because this isn't closing the flap door to the outside elements. So your air is always coming in fresh air and it's not blocking it off for like recirculation. So originally when I got mine, this is it was actually broken laying in the bottom, and the quick thing to do is just pull it out and go on down the road so you have better airflow instead of just being blocking your fan, and everything works. The problem is when it's very rainy outside like it has been here lately, the humidity builds up in the car because you have no way to close it off from the outside, so your defrost doesn't work very good and your inside of your windshield will get very foggy. So while you're in there, you can also add a cabin filter. Now, this is a cabin filter I've had in the thing for over 2 years. You can see it's pretty dirty. These Explorers don't come with a cabin filter, and I thought, you know what, I should add one. I'll show you how I did that, and I have a replacement coming. So this is what the old one looks like, and I'll show you in a minute what the new one looks like. But basically, you put it in just like this. Air gets pulled down into the car, and it gives you a nice, clean, set of air. You can tell how nasty it is. This is just what comes in from the outside. So imagine all the Explorers that don't have a cabin filter. All that stuff is just going into your fan motor, blowing all around the vehicle. So this can be pollen, dust, dirt, the whole thing. To fix the blend door here, or fresh air door, I guess is the best way to say it, we have to take that little cam sprocket that's still in the vehicle, we have to push it in here and seal it into place. So since we don't have a way to lock it anymore, the best alternative now is to use some clear weld, plastic weld type stuff. So I'm going to use this. What I'm going to do is put it inside this hole right before I push it back into place. You clip this side in, push it up, push your cam sprocket in, adjust your vacuum actuator to make sure it's closed or open where it needs to be, and then you let it cure. This says it cures in an hour. I'll probably let it cure overnight. And then when I crank the vehicle and turn on the air conditioning, the vacuum will pull the door either closed for max AC or open if we're doing like heat and things like that. So it'll be back fully functional. You'll never know it. And I'll show you a trick of how to get into the air box there, where you actually cut it with a razor and then you can flip the flap up, and there's plenty of room to get this filter into place. So not only am I going to show you how to do a cabin filter, but also how to fix this notorious problem of the fresh air door breaking. Okay, to get started, first thing you want to do is you want to come over to your glove box. You want to open it up. You want to take all your stuff out. And then you want to squeeze the tabs right here on the side. That one down and this one down. The door flops down. And then to get in here, this is the box that you're going to be working on, and there's screws in here. I've got one in here just holding it temporarily because I knew I was going to have to change that filter out, and I'm waiting for it to come in. So you have these screws. There's one here, one here, one here, one there. Take those screws out, and then this piece is not really ready to fly open yet. What you want to do is take a Dremel tool or a razor blade and cut right here on this side and right here on this side. And then what's going to happen, you have a nice little flap that's going to open just like that. How cool is that? So you still retain the factory function of putting the screw in and sealing it off, but you have this flap door that you can get your hand in here now. And this is where your filter is going to go in later. I'll show you that. You just lay the filter in, close this, put the screws in, and you have a cabin filter replacement. Also, before you get too far, this metal bracket is located right in here. And to make your job easier, you need to take the 3 screws out. There's one on this end, 2 on that end, and take this bracket out of the way. It just allows you to get your hand up in here. And what we're trying to do is we're going to try to get up here to this actuator. This actuator is what controls the door, fresh air door. Pull that off, and there's a cam located up top. You'll have to reach in there so you can feel it, but it does move around and it pushes through. Now what we have to do here is get creative, holding the camera and all. You stick your hand in here, you feel the cam. I can't really do it with my right hand, do it with my left hand, so I can reach up in here and feel the cam. But I can feel the cam sticking through. So what I have to do is push it back so I can get my door back in there where it needs to go. And I just need now to slide my door in, and I'll get it here. And I'm just going to show you a test fit. I haven't put my epoxy on it yet, but you slide it in just like this. You push it up toward the top. There is a catch on the right side where it's going to hit. You need to make sure this cam is pushed in. And then once you get it all up into place where it needs to go, and you know you're in the right spot, you can pull this back out. Easier said than done, because it is tight. And we're gonna put this epoxy right here on the end, push it in and push our cam into place. And then we'll move this around to make sure we're in the right position and tidy it all back up. Just like that. See our flap. Get this so I can move it around. See there? It's hooked up now and it's staying up in place. So we are good. We'll let that epoxy dry, and then when I turn on the vacuum, it should pull it down like that and be flat. I let go, it goes up. See there? And I hook my vacuum line back up here, and then we'll just push that to make sure it's all good and tight. And I move this a few times just to make sure my epoxy doesn't stick to the side of the case or anything. And we should be good. So we'll let that cure. And once that cures, like I say, it should be about an hour. Then this should be able to close. It'll be just like that. And it'll be good to go. All right, so here's the difference in the filters. This one clearly is used. This one's brand new. Pops right into place. The only thing is there's a little tab here, like a grab handle sliding out. And you'll notice on this one, I'd cut it off. So I just need to cut that off, and then I can put this in the Explorer. But just look at that difference. Yeah, I need to change that more often. That's about 2 years of being used. But just think about, these Explorers do not come with a cabin filter, so I'm actually adding one to it. All right, it's the next day. I got my filter just to show you the repair here for the door. See how you can see it moving up in there. So that is fixed. And now it's as simple as taking your filter, opening this up like so, and sliding the filter in until it drops into place like that. And that's it. See how it fits? Then you push this in and you start putting your screws back in place like this. Now I'm going to add the rest of the screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 I'm going to add, and I'll tighten those down, and we will have our door fixed for the fresh air, and we'll have our new cabin filter. This thing's going to be like brand new. And just like that, they're all tight and ready to go. A 8mm ratchet wrench seems to work very well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in place. You'll notice I'm not going to put that bracket back in here. It's really not necessary for this. It's pretty tight without it. But our blend door's fixed for fresh air. We have a brand new cabin filter. And again, you just cut there and there, and you can make this a flap that flips up and down to this repair. So pretty straightforward. Hope that was helpful. And now you have a cabin filter in your car, and you have fixed everything that was wrong with the outside air coming in that's now sealed off. So that's a quick way how to fix your Explorer fresh air door, and at the same time, while you're in there, put in a cabin filter. So any questions, let me know, but it's pretty straightforward, just takes a little bit of time, and you will scratch your arm up getting in the hole in there just to try to get in there and fit the door in place. But it's not too bad. So hope this helps. Enjoy the video.